Yet. Shalom, shalom, Shabbat Adonai. Welcome to another segment of the Sixth Exodus program. This segment here is called I Have Chosen You. Isaiah chapter 44, starting with verse number 1. I want to read the entirety of Isaiah chapter 44. Yet, now, hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Thus saith the Lord, that made thee and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou, Yeshurun, whom I have chosen. For I will pour water upon them that is thirsting, and the floods upon the dry grounds. I will pour my spirit upon thy seed, and my blessings upon thy offsprings. And there shall spring up among grass, as willows by the watercourse. One shall say, I am the Lord, and another will call himself by the name of Jacob, and another will strive with his hands unto the Lord, his surname himself by the name of Israel. That means he will put tattoos on his body. Children of God, Israel and Yeshurun is the same thing. It's the same meaning. Yeshurun means upright one. It also refers to Israel. It was the name of Israel before the angel gave Jacob the name. It was the name of Israel. Yeshurun was the name that God gave Israel when Moses was with the people of God. Was the name that was given to them in Yeshurun, according to Deuteronomy chapter 33, 32, 33, and 35. He called them Yeshurun. In fact, Israel had become fat, and God had blessed them so much that they forgot how God had blessed them. They had lived so much off God's goodness. The nation of Israel had become fat. That means they became complacent because of the blessings of the Lord. Verse number 4. And they shall spring up as among grass, as the willows by watercourse. One shall say, I am the Lord, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob. That means many will come in my name saying, I am Yeshurun. And they shall strive on his hand. One person is going to put on his hand and say, see, on my hand, my name is Yeshurun. Many will come in my name saying that I am Yeshurun. But people of God, Yeshurun is a black man. This is what the Satan had did the last time. They changed the name of the Yeshua Yamashiach and gave him the name Jesus. And he too is a black man. But I am a black man, and no one's going to change my name because my name was written in the laws of the book before the stars in heaven was created, according to the book of Enoch. The name of Jesus was also, the name of the Yeshua Yamashiach was there, but the Catholic Church, along with Satan, changed his name and put the Y out of it and put a J. That's why you call his name Jesus. But the Lord is not going to answer those names anymore because those names is an idol. It's a picture of Caesarea Bajoa, and the Lord is not going to answer to those names. He's not going to listen to those names, those idols anymore. In fact, he's going to take them names out of your mouth that you won't even remember them very soon. We won't be going to these churches also. But the gates of hell shall not prevail against the church. But you got to understand that if you're black and you were brought here on slave ships, you are a Hebrew. You are not a Gentile. You are not an African. You are a Hebrew. And God requires of you to keep the covenant. It's your heritage. You are not a Gentile as you was told that you're a Gentile. You are not. You have an inheritance. You have a life. You have a covenant. You have a heritage. According to Jeremiah 17, you have a heritage. Verse number 8. Fear ye not, neither be afraid, for I have told thee from that time and have declared it. Ye are even my witnesses, as there is a God beside me, yea, there is no God, I know not any. They that make graven images, and all of them vanity, and they are detectable things, which shall not profit, and they are their own witnesses. They see not, nor know, that they may be ashamed. The Lord saying, you make these idols with your own hand. God said He's going to shame you. The day is coming where God's going to open your eyes and you're going to see it. It's going to be very soon, because my God told me to tell you these things today and to read you these things in Isaiah chapter 44, that you make these graven images. Verse number 9, He said, they that make graven images are all of them vanity, and they are delectable items. They are delectable things, shall not profit, and they are their own witnesses. They see not, know not, that they may be ashamed. Who have formed a god, or molten a graven image that is profitable for nothing? Behold, all his fellows shall be ashamed, and the workmen are of men, and let them be together, gathered together, and let them stand up, yea, ye shall fear, and shall be ashamed together. The smiths, that means the people that make them with their hands, even camera people, photographers that take the pictures and you sell these portraits to people, you're going to be ashamed, because not only the people who make gold and wood out of them, but iron and ivory, all these ones that make idols, you're going to be ashamed for many days, because you sold those pictures to people, you took pictures of them, copied them, and you sold them to people. Your day of shame is going to be coming upon you very soon. God wants you to see this, that you are full of idolatry. And this in the book of Isaiah is telling you about you yourself, because I am Yeshurun, and Yeshurun is here. So it's today. Today, the Lord is pointing you out. Here in America, God is pointing you out. Isaiah chapter 44, and God is telling you this from the beginning of time. And He's saying to you, even my name, Yeshurun, is written in this book. The Lord has told me, His servant, who I am, to let you know, nation of Israel, that God is soon to come back for you. You need to get ready to go. That means you need to be keeping the covenant. If you don't keep the covenant, woe is you. But God is soon to come back to let you know that His love is for you. Verse number 14, He heweth down a cedar, and taketh the cypress and the oak, with His strength of Himself among the trees of the forest. He planteth in ashes, and the rain doth nourish it. Then it shall be for a man to burn, for he hath taken thereof and warmed himself. Yea, and he kindleth it and baketh bread. Yea, he maketh a god and worship it. He maketh it a graven image, and falleth down thereunto. He burneth part thereof in the fire, and part of it, and he eateth the flesh, and he roasteth, and he is satisfied. Yeah, he warmeth himself, and say, I am warm, and I have seen the fire, and the residue thereof of God, of maketh a God, even his graven image. He hath fallen down unto it, and worship it, and prayed unto it, and said, Deliver me, thou art my God. Verse 18, They have not known nor understood, for he that shut his eyes, they that cannot see, and their hearts they cannot understand, and none considereth in his heart, neither is there knowledge nor understanding to say, I have burned part of it in the fire, yea, I also have baked bread upon the coals thereof. I have roasted flesh and eaten it, and shall make the residue thereof an abomination. The Lord say, He see you cooking, baking bread, and you worshiping your idols. You say your idols give you all your health, your food and your prosperity. You giving it to what you call Jesus. And even the pig and the swine that you're cooking. And then God said, He said you saying, ah. In verse number 16, He said, I am warm. He said, you warm yourself with it. And you sit and you turn on your heaters in your home and you say, oh, I'm fine. And even the residue from your mouth, that means the oil and the grease that come from your mouth from eating pork and swine's flesh. God said He see the residue from your mouth. That you licking your lips after you have the residue, the oil from the barbecue ribs that you're eating, that you have the residue on your mouth and how you lick your mouth. God say He see you, that how you have pleasure in eating swine flesh, things He told you not to eat, but you go after them and you worship them, and how you roast bread, bake bread, and eat your swine flesh after these idols that you have worshipped. God see how you take pleasure in these idols. And God said to you, your first commandment, that you should not worship any idols before me. Okay, I want to tell you something, how the devil has snuck in and has duped and seduced God's people. Brother Greg is with us again today. Well, Brother Greg said we can look at 2 scriptures, and I want possibly 3. I don't know if we need to look at 3 or not, but if we need to, we can go there. Brother Greg, find also Exodus chapter 20. Look at James chapter 2 and verse number 10.
James chapter 2 verse 10 reads, For whosoever shall keep the whole law, and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all.
Okay, now, you heard people say, if you fail one law, you fail them all. This is what the devil has snuck into the church and have given people who don't know any better or who listen to what the devil say and they don't study. Well, it's really simple, because you haven't had a teacher in 400 years to teach you. And so you can't listen to the Catholic Church because they're not for you. And you cannot listen to the Christian Church from Rome because they're not for you. Both of these entities are trying to kill you. They're Satan's kingdom. They are not going to tell you nothing right. They have pretending to seduce you and to kill you. Satan, his objective is to kill you and destroy you. But the Lord has sent me, the Lord's servant, in these days to let you know what you need to do. That God has a plan to save His people. You no need to have fear. Brother Greg, read James chapter 2 and verse 10. Or you read that already? Okay, let me show you something. Brother, go to Exodus 20. I want to show you something. While Greg is going to Exodus 20, there are 10 laws. I call it the 6 and 4 laws. Let me break this thing down to you so you can see what the devil has done. The 6 and 4 laws are actually 2 laws. The 2 laws, 6 laws pertain to man, and 4 laws pertain to God, which is for man and for God. So there are only 2 laws. So if you fail one law, the laws are so much connected together that if you fail one law, then if you fail serving God or you don't do the law that pertains to God, the law that pertains to God also pertains to man. So that's how you say you fail them all. But actually, the 2 laws, they are so knit together, they're just like husband and wife. They're inseparable. Because if you fail God, then how can you say you fail man? Because God and man, you have to love man to be able to serve God. Remember the Bible said, how can you say you love God and you hate your brother? So to love God and to love man is the 2 laws that God has given you. So those are the gist of the 2 laws, the 10 commandments. They're actually 2 laws. I call them the 6 and 4 laws. Brother Greg, read the first law.
The first law again is Exodus chapter number 20 and verse number 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Okay, that law pertained to man or pertained to God? That law pertained to God. He said that thou shalt love no other God besides me. Okay, so that law right there pertains to God. So that's one law that pertains to God. Okay, God and man. Okay, let's keep a score right here. Put a G and a M. One. Okay, that's the first law pertaining to God. That's okay. God is one, man is zero. Okay, Brother Great, read the next one.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Okay, is that referring to God or it's referring to man? Okay, let's put down for man. Because he's saying you should not make any. So he's telling man what to do. Okay, 1 to 1. Okay, so that would pertain to man telling man not to make any graven images. What's the next one, brother?
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them,
Okay,
nor serve them.
now that's another one. That's to put down for man. He's telling us what to do, not to serve them, not to bow down to them. Okay, that's good. Okay.
Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain.
Okay, don't take the name of the Lord God in vain. But let's put that one down for God. Talking to God on that. So the score is 2 to 2. All right. What's the next law, brother?
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Okay, that pertains to God. So remember the Sabbath day. So that's 3 to 2. 3 laws pertain to God. 2 pertain to man so far.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
Okay, that's obviously. Okay, that goes right there to man. So that's 3 to 3 now. 3 laws to 3. Okay.
Thou shalt not kill.
That okay? Then you're talking about God. Okay? God, that's obvious. That's man. So now the score is 4, man 4, God 3. Okay. What's next, brother?
Thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt not kill.
I'm
Okay,
sorry, we
that's
just
talking
read
to
that.
man. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5 to 3 now.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
That's definitely talking about man.
We said kill twice, so we can take one of those away.
Okay, that's 5.
Thou shalt not steal.
Okay, that's definitely talking about man. So that's 6.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
See? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, that's 6 right there, brother. Great.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Okay. Okay, that one definitely talking about man.
I stated thou shalt not kill twice, so you have that down twice right there.
No,
So take one away.
Okay. Okay, that's 6 and 3. It's gotta be. Yeah. Okay. So the law pertaining to man and pertaining to God. So you see, the laws pertain to man and the laws pertain to God. They're very close and similar. And read Matthew chapter 19 and verse 20, Brother Greg.
Matthew 3,
19, verse 20.
19 and verse 20. Matthew 19, verse number 20 reads, The young man saith unto him, All these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? Verse number 21, Jesus said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me.
Okay, Jesus talking to this young rich man, this young rich ruler, and the Lord told him, he said, I have kept all the 10 commandments from my youth up. What do I lack? What lack I? What do I need to do now? So the Lord told him to say, well, if you want to be perfect, he said, sell all you have and come follow me. What happened to this young man? Some things happened to him. He should have found out that, first of all, he didn't keep the first commandment because he didn't love the Lord all his heart. He loved his money more than he loved God. So what happened to him? He found out. He said, sell all you have and come follow me. He couldn't sell all he had because he loved his money. He didn't love God. So now we find out some things about him is that what he didn't love. So all of these things, they connect to each other. So when you don't love God, you also don't love your fellow man. So now he don't love his fellow man because he cannot follow Christ. And so this is connected to the love thy neighbor, that's thyself. He could not sell them, and he could not give all his things away to his fellow man. He was great in riches, so he could not give them away. He couldn't love his neighbors, and he didn't love God. But he said that I've done these things from my youth up. But when he was confronted, he couldn't do it. The Bible said he went away sorrowful because he realized that he said he had kept these laws from his youth up. But actually, they didn't. But I'm telling you, the laws are so knit together. But don't let nobody fool you. You can keep the law. You can. I do. Our forefathers did. And you can. If you want to do it, you can. There's no devil in hell can make you not do anything you don't want to do.